Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the DJ Roscoe Sports Show for this Saturday, January 22nd, 2022, coming live, Palatial State, here in Dallas, Pennsylvania. This week, if it's Saturday, must the Mayhem Sports Talk, right here on the DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Very happy with you once again. It's freezing cold, stay warm, but it's playoff football, and we're pumped. We got 4 games, 2 today, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and we're going to give our predictions right now. First game, 4:30, the Cincinnati Bengals on the road against the Tennessee Titans on CBS. The Bengals, playoffs? They finally won their first playoff game in 31 years since January 1991, breaking their 31-year playoff drought. Last time they won a playoff game, you couldn't text message someone that the Bengals had won a playoff game. There was no text message until 1992. Most people didn't text message until years after that. They finally got it done. It was a close game. Derek Carr had them driving down to the very end until he threw that pick at the end zone. And the Raiders overcame so much this year with all the obstacles, all the scandals. And Derek Carr was their one constant. It'll be interesting to see what the Vegas Raiders do. Do they keep their own coach? Derek Carr, does he stay there with the Raiders? But the Raiders, tip of the cap to them. But congrats to the Bengals. Joe Burrow coming back from the ACL tear. Blown out his knee after 9 games, had a solid rookie season, played great in year 2, so confident throwing the ball down the field. He's got Chase, for the star wide receiver he hooked up with in LSU, a great 1-2 combo, won a national title in his last year at LSU 2 years ago, and this guy's a heck of a quarterback and so much confidence. And this is what the Bengals need after years of losing. They needed a guy who would bring them confidence that they can get this done, and that's what Joe Burrow has provided for Cincinnati. They have enough defense, enough running game, but they have maybe the mentality of Tom Brady. I'm not saying he is Tom Brady, but he has that mentality of so confident, cannot be rattled, and Joe Burrow and the Bengals get it done. They got the win at the end, win by a touchdown over the Raiders, win their first playoff game in 31 years. Congrats. Now they go to Tennessee and play the number 1 seed Tennessee Titans, who found a way to hold on to the number 1 spot even without Derrick Henry for big stretches of the second half of the season. He is back, though. He's been activated today, and the Titans, they're going to be dangerous at home. The number 1 seed, first round bye. They got home field advantage throughout the playoffs in Nashville. Solid defense. Mike Vrabel's defense is always strong. You have Ryan Tannehill as a game manager. As long as he doesn't screw up too much and doesn't turn over the ball too much, you got Derrick Henry, who's a beast out there. You need a whole fleet of defenders to take him down. He's going to stiff arm you and run you right over. 6 dudes might not be enough to take him down. If this game was at home in Cincinnati, if there was no Derrick Henry out there, I think it's a totally different game. I would go with the Bengals. The Bengals still could pull off the upset. They have that much confidence. Joe Burrow is the guy who could maybe pull it off. But in the end, I think they got their 1 playoff win. I think they're going to be done in round 2. Titans at home in Tennessee. Too much defense. Joe Burrow maybe a little too cocky, throwing that ball, forcing it into some double coverage tight spots. I think the Titans force some turnovers with their solid D. And then Ryan Tannehill does just enough. And then Derrick Henry is going to run them over. And they're going to get done. It's closer than people think. I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans winning at home 23-16 over the Bengals to advance and host the AFC Championship game next Sunday, January 30th on CBS in Nashville, Tennessee. Derrick Henry, the Titans, dangerous team in the playoffs now that he's back and rested. Has some mileage on those tires. He's got some rest on them now because he had that injury. So if he's come back and breaks off that rust and the O-line can block for him, expect him to run over some defenders today. Titans over the Bengals, 23-16. Then at the nightcap, 8:15 on Fox, the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. It's going to be frigid cold. You think it's cold in Dallas, PA? It's probably going to feel like negative 20 degrees there. But the Packers know how to play in it. They dominate at home at Lambeau Field, especially in the playoffs most of the time, even though lately they've had some struggles in the playoffs, including when they lost to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, who's a different animal to stop Tom Brady and the Bucs in last year's NFC Championship game, which I think is going to be the rematch next week in the NFC Championship game. Will be Brady against Rodgers again, and see if Rodgers can finally overcome the beast that is Tom Brady, and can you overcome him and knock them off. But the Packers this week, Aaron Rodgers, a week of rest with that COVID toe, whatever he wants to call it. A.J. Dillon, running back. Devontae Adams, the number 1-2, the 1-2 dynamic punch, 1-2 punch of wide receiver quarterback combo. If this is the last dance, this is their best chance to win a Super Bowl. They better go for it. At home, field advantage throughout the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, unstoppable. The defense is showing off. Matt LaFleur in his 3 years. I know it's a lot of credit to Aaron Rodgers, but they had coaches and Mike McCarthy who underachieved before him. They've been dominant. They win like 13 games a year, win their division, and now it's just time to take advantage of home field advantage throughout the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl and win it in La La Land on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. So the Packers, they will host the San Francisco 49ers at 8:15 tonight. 49ers coming off a big upset win over the Cowboys. I was happy because the Cowboys lost. I can't stand them. New England Patriots lost by 30, even though it felt like 100 points because the only time they stopped them was when the Bills took a knee at the final play of the game with Josh Allen. 7 offensive drives, 7 touchdowns, unstoppable. It was like they won by 1,000 points over the Patriots after they run up the score against my stinky JTS Jets. Happy to see the Patriots lose. Happy to see the Cowboys lose. Cowboys almost came back. They were down like 23-6. They got to 23-17. Couldn't get the snap off the end. You shouldn't do a running play when you need to have the clock stop. You have no timeouts. They run out of time. They're upset. Dak Prescott is saying things that he regrets, saying that that he liked that the fans threw garbage and things that the referee never should be doing that. That's not a responsible thing that a team leader should say. I know he's backtracked and apologized for that, but I know it was the heat of the moment. But the Cowboys, they lose. I'm happy about it. The 49ers, that was the only game I got wrong last week. We're 5-1 with our wild card picks. I wanted to go with the 49ers. In the end, fell just short. I was hoping my Chiefs-Steelers game pick was going to be wrong. My wife's Steelers would have won for a little while up till like halfway the second quarter. It looked good. They were shutting down the Chiefs offense, and TJ Watt got that first touchdown on defense. They were up 7-0. I'm like, is there a miracle? And it was no. They got blown out in Big Ben's last game, but still a heck of a run for the Steelers to get the playoffs and make it interesting for a little while in that game. But I digress. The 49ers, everyone says you want to move off Jimmy Garoppolo. Hey, Steelers and other teams that need a quarterback, he moves just a stopgap measure. Jimmy Garoppolo gets it done. If he could stay healthy, I know it's a big if because he gets hurt a lot. He is a solid quarterback, makes some good decisions, and I know he's at times more of a game manager. When they were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago against the Chiefs, he hands the ball off a lot. When he has to throw too much, that's when mistakes happen, too many turnovers. They have a solid running game. They call it bully ball for the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan, dynamic offense play caller, solid running game, solid defense. 49ers, they're a dangerous team, and they've had, at times, the Packers' numbers in the last few years, but this is a different Packers animal. They have home field advantage. They're the best team in football this year. Aaron Rodgers, whether you like what he says or not off the field about COVID things and about vaccines, on the field, he's dynamic. Him, Devontae Adams, if this is their last run, this is their best chance to win a Super Bowl together. A.J. Dillon, solid defense. The Packers, I think, are going to get it done. The 49ers will put up a little bit of a struggle there. They'll make it tough for a little while, but the 49ers, after keeping it close for a little while, the Packers will pull away in the second half. I don't expect it to be a massive blowout, but I'm going to go with the Packers. I'll go with, in frigid temperatures, what the Packers know to play in, I'm going to go with 34-24. Packers win by 10 over the 49ers and advance and host the NFC Championship game next Sunday, January 30th on Fox. Go Packers, go. I think, Renee, you love your Packers. I think you're going to see your Packers knock off the 49ers, Rich's 49ers, and it should be a great game tonight. Enjoy it, and I think the Packers will host the NFC Championship game next week. I think it's a rematch against Tom Brady, which will be an epic matchup. And Brady and the Bucs had the upper hand last year. Maybe this year will be different. We'll see. Then tomorrow, Sunday fun day. You have on NBC at 3 p.m. the LA Rams, who coming off, they needed to get it done against a beat-up Arizona Cardinals team. Kyler Murray struggling. Cliff Kingsbury's dynamic offense was, very poor down the stretch. Murray come back with injuries, and Hopkins, the star wide receiver, injured for the rest of the season. J.J. Watt came back. He had like a brace on his arm. A dynamic player who gets hurt all the time. Veteran player. He tried his best. James Conner, who's had like the cracked ribs, he came back, scored a touchdown in the game. But in the end, in La La Land, with all the celebrities there, the host of the Super Bowl, SoFi Stadium, where they could host the Super Bowl like the Buccaneers did for the first time ever. A team hosted the Super Bowl and actually won the Super Bowl in their home building. It will in La La Land on February 13th, day before Valentine's Day. Don't forget, guys, the day after Super Bowl is Valentine's Day. One of these days it's going to fall on Valentine's Day, and that's going to be, especially if the person you love doesn't want to watch the Super Bowl, that could be interesting. But yeah, the Rams got it done. It was the first Monday Night Football game on a playoff game. It was on ESPN, ABC, on Martin Luther King Day, and we honored the great Martin Luther King and all he stood for, and still his message of equality that still is so important to this day. Because you usually have a lot of basketball games on Martin Luther King Day in the middle of the day, and hockey. It was cool to see football in there, so it was a big sports day on Monday. It was cold and snowy here, shoveled some snow, and then I got to watch some playoff football along with all the other cool sports on Monday. So yeah, the Rams got it done. They crushed the Arizona Cardinals. I think it was like 34-11. So they got it done. They needed to get that win. Matthew Stafford, in year number 13, finally gets his first playoff win. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. After all the struggles with the Detroit Lions, but they got it done. But this is going to be a different animal. This is going to be a different beast. You have to go on the road to Tampa Bay, which has had shown flaws this year. And the Buccaneers, I think the game was in LA earlier in the year. On Monday Night Football, the Buccaneers actually lost to the LA Rams earlier in the year. But this is playoff football in January with all the money on the line. There's rumors now. I don't necessarily buy it. I think Tom Brady will return for another year because he seems to want to play forever, at least maybe as he gets closer to 50, as long as he stays healthy. Unless maybe he can win another Super Bowl. Maybe he'd go out on top. But I still think he'll come back next year either way. But the perfect way for him to go out on top like Peyton Manning did. Brady is the best player in football history. Best winner, best quarterback, has all the records. And he's just a beast. He's like the Mamba mentality, the late, great Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, that ultimate competitor. It's going to be hard. You beat him early in the year in October in LA. This is in Tampa Bay, in his house. I know Tampa Bay has a lot of injuries. They have the Antonio Brown fiasco. He's gone. Chris Goodwin, the star receiver out of Penn State, he's hurt. He blew out his knee. He's done. But they have enough offensive talent. Brady gets it done even with lesser receivers than this. And he still has Mike Evans and a lot of other top-notch receivers and tight ends. Defense will do enough. I think in the end, it's going to be a disappointment for the Rams. They needed to get it done, at least in round one, because it would be pathetic if they lost and didn't win any playoff games. After bringing in Matthew Stafford, they were winning playoff games, even made us well with Jared Goff, who a lot of people didn't really respect as a talented player, and they sent him off to the Detroit Lions to get Matthew Stafford to get to the next level. Sean McVay is an offensive genius. But I know they had that Super Bowl a few years ago against Brady, and a lot of that was Belichick's defense, where they held it. It was like a 13-3 low-scoring snooze fest. Shut down that Rams dynamic offense. This is before Matthew Stafford. I know they have Odell Beckham Jr., Cooper Kupp, who was the wide receiver Triple Crown winner this year. Solid defense with Aaron Donald, who's a beast out there. Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller. If any team could do it besides the Packers, I would give the LA Rams a chance. I think this is going to be a hard-fought game. I think the LA Rams are going to be mano-a-mano with them. But in the end, I'm going to predict Tom Brady and the Bucs lead the Bucs on a last-second field goal drive to win it at home. I hope I'm kind of wrong, because as much as I don't hate him as much when he was on the Patriots, couldn't stand the Patriots winning and knocking the Jets' teeth in every year, win the Super Bowl. I still want to see, at this point, out of the 8 teams, I want to see someone else besides Brady and the Buccaneers win a Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl last year. He proved that he can win without Belichick. He's won the divorce so far, even though Belichick, had a solid year this year with his rookie quarterback Mac Jones and solid defense. I don't want to see Brady win another Super Bowl. It gets boring year after year. At least not this year. Make it interesting. Someone else win, whether it be Green Bay, Tennessee, Kansas City, LA. I think LA has a chance. I'll give him a shot, but I think in the end, Brady leads them on a last-second field goal and wins this game 34-31 by 3 points at home and advances to the NFC Championship game to go to Lambeau Field for the epic rematch of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, the two great Hall of Fame quarterbacks, go mano-a-mano next Sunday for the chance to go to the Super Bowl 56 in LA. Great game. Whoever has the ball last wins it. I'm going with Tampa Bay. LA has a chance to win this, but I'm going with Tampa Bay 34-31 in a high-scoring shootout. Brady gets it done to go to the NFC Championship game. Then in the nightcap at 6:30 on CBS, Nana Fran's Buffalo Bills. She's about to have a big milestone birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños to Fran. Fran Lewis, big Buffalo Bill fan. And then I know she can't wait to see if they can go to the Super Bowl. It's been a while since they had those 4 straight Super Bowls in the 90s, lost them all, but I think we'd take that at this point. Josh Allen was dynamic. As I said, 7 for 7, all 7 drives, touchdowns against the Patriots. Knocked out that demon, won 2 straight AFC Championship games over the Patriots. Beat them, destroyed them in the playoffs when people thought the Patriots had a chance, including I for a little while. Thought it was going to be a Belichick-Brady Super Bowl. Not to be. Josh Allen was great out there. Stephon Diggs and company. Just amazing offense. But can they get it done mano-a-mano in Kansas City, where they lost the Chiefs earlier this year, lost the AFC Championship game to go to the Super Bowl last year, and now they have to play them to get to the AFC Championship game and possibly play to the Tennessee Titans or the Bengals. If the Bengals win and pull off the upset and the Bills win, the Bills can host the AFC Championship game against Joe Burrow and the Bengals next Sunday. But if the Bills win, I know you first got to win your game. If the Bills win and Tennessee wins, then the Bills would go on the road to play the Titans in the AFC Championship game to go to the Super Bowl. But first, they got to get it done. They'll know going into this game if they win, if they'll be going on the road to Tennessee or hosting Cincinnati. But you got to beat them. I think it's going to be an epic shootout. Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, as long as they stay healthy, hopefully for years to come, we will see great, epic regular season and playoff matchups. So far, Josh Allen hasn't been able to knock Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs off their perch as the top AFC team. Couldn't get it done to go to Super Bowl last year, the AFC Championship game. Couldn't get it done this year in the regular season. if anyone's going to do it, it would be this year with the Bills after coming off that great game. I just think they're going to have enough of a letdown after having that great home win and decisive, dominant, crushing the New England Patriots, their rivals last Saturday night. I think they'll fall a little short. They'll start off slow a little bit. And I think even though the Chiefs have shown some definite flaws this year and their defense is maybe not up to stuff, I think they're going to have a hard time stopping Josh Allen, that dynamic offense. I think it's going to be another high-scoring shootout. And I think in the end, Pat Mahomes at home in Kansas City is unstoppable in the playoffs. He's going to get it done. I think Andy Reid and that dynamic Chiefs offense, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, the cheetah they call him, the little running backs who catch and screen passes, something you've never heard of. The one who was doing great last week, I'd never even heard of him because their main running back was out and he was dominated against the Steelers. I think that this would be epic if the Bills could get it done. Then the Bills really truly have arrived, even more than being the Patriots. They might be the favorites to go all the way or at least get to the Super Bowl out of the AFC if they can win this game. But in the end, I think the Chiefs, Pat Mahomes, we trust. I think they get it done. Maybe we'll see an all State Farm commercial Super Bowl pitchman Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes. I think the Chiefs are going to get done. High scoring shootout. Let's see where I go. I'm going to go with 38-34. I'm going to say that they win by 4 points. Bills try to get it done. It's going to be back and forth, high-scoring, exciting shootout. Hopefully, it's not a blowout either way. I think it'll be exciting either way. I'll be rooting. I hope I'm kind of wrong with this prediction. I'm rooting for Nana Fran for her birthday, for the Bills to win this and get to the Super Bowl. But in the end, win this and be win away from going to the Super Bowl. In the end, I think Pat Mahomes will be just a little bit better than the great Josh Allen. Great quarterback, offensive matchup. I'm going to say the Chiefs at home. If it was in Buffalo, I'd give the Bills a better chance. But I think Kansas City at home, Pat Mahomes is just hard to beat. I think the Chiefs beat the Bills. High-scoring shootout, 38-34. Chiefs go to the AFC Championship game for the 4th straight year, and they will take on the Tennessee Titans on the road in Tennessee, in Nashville. A rematch of the AFC Championship game 2 years ago when Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs went on their run to win the Super Bowl. So my picks again for this week, for today, for the early 4:30 game, I'm going to go exciting game, but I'm going with Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry's return. Too much power running to beat the Bengals. I'm going to go with them winning 23-16. Tennessee wins. I'm going to go for the nightcap, the Packers to win a high-scoring game, 34-24 over the 49ers. Packers win. For tomorrow, I'm going to say as much as the Rams have a chance, I'm going to say Tom Brady wins that high-scoring shootout. Tampa Bay beats the LA Rams 34-31 to go to the NFC Championship game, try to repeat as champions. And then for Sunday night, as much as I'm going to be rooting for the Bills, hopefully my prediction is wrong, but I'm going to still have to be a non-biased pick, even though I know Nana Fran's rooting for them. I'm going to go with 38-34 Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs over the Buffalo Bills to go to the AFC Championship game. So those are my picks. Be there, be square. That doom got me in the morning. This is not the Duma. It is not nature. Those are my picks for this divisional round playoffs to go to the Conference Championship Sunday next week. Tennessee, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, and Kansas City are my picks. I'd love to hear what you have to think. Different opinion. Agree, disagree. Love to hear from you right here on DJ Roscoe Sports Show. That's the football picks. College basketball, before you know, it'll be March Madness. Some great conference games. Syracuse playing at Duke today. That should be fun. Gonzaga's doing great. So that's rounding the shape. NBA has been exciting. Brooklyn Nets won again last night. Kyrie Irving's doing well. Kevin Durant's hurt. Hopefully he'll be back soon. They definitely need Kyrie Irving, who right now doesn't want to be vaccinated, but he can play on road games. They need him to come back and really pick up pick up the pace without the great Kevin Durant, and James Harden needs to do well. So the Nets hanging in. The Sixers doing well. Joel Embiid scored 50 points the other night. Still doesn't. They got to just trade Ben Simmons, get something for him. Klay Thompson back with Stephen Curry, who hit that game-winning buzzer beater with the Golden State Warriors last night. So it'll be exciting. The Lakers still struggling, hovering around 500. Might fire their head coach, Frank Vogel. LeBron James still scoring 30 points a game, doing great. Russell Westbrook, too many turnovers. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The NBA basketball, before you know, it'll be trade deadline. The NBA All-Star game in Cleveland. LeBron James back in Cleveland for the NBA All-Star game will be exciting. Hockey, the Penguins are playing great. They won again last night, 5-2. They got the win. Sidney Crosby got the hat trick, and the night before they beat Ottawa I think they beat Ottawa 6-4, and then they won 5-2 last night. Sidney Crosby got the hat trick. Penguins playing great hockey. Jake Gensel and Tristan Jarry, who I interviewed when I was covering the Penguins, are going to the All-Star game this year. That's exciting. Flyers are trying to hang in there. Rangers are playing great hockey. Got a big comeback win on Wednesday night over the Toronto Maple Leafs 6-3 when they were down 3-1. They came all the way back. So Rangers playing great. The Pittsburgh Penguins are playing great. Baby Penguins, they got it done. Last night they won over Toronto for the minor league team. I think they won 5-1. So check them out tonight. I think they're going to make the rink pink. Raise money for a great cause, and the Mohegan Sun Arena at Casey Plaza tonight, 6:05, a little early start. The Baby Penguins are going to play tonight. Check them out. Root on Tux and the Penguin mascot. Hopefully they get another win for the Baby Pens. So they won last night. Lost on Wednesday, but hopefully they get to win tonight. And then I think they play on Monday in a makeup game against the Cleveland minor league hockey team, so check them out. But right now, the Penguins and Rangers, for local teams, playing great in the NHL, and Baby Pens rooting for them on. Basketball, we talk about football, and baseball, still a lockout. Hope for the best that it will be resolved soon. They're supposed to have a counteroffer by the players on Monday. Let's just have baseball. Spring training is supposed to be here around Valentine's Day in less than a month, but right now, very iffy that's going to be on time, even though they're selling tickets for that, and regular seasons will start March 31st. Let's have our fingers crossed that we can have real baseball. And in AAA, they're going to experiment with robot umpires, so that'll be interesting to see at the Rail Riders, because no matter what, they're supposed to start in time. Home opener on April 12th. We'll see some robotic umpires, maybe some robotic umpire ejections when the managers yell at them. We'll see what happens. If the robots will go crazy and become a Terminator Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, they'll be flipping out, screaming at a robot, and the robot might just go haywire. So hopefully everything will go well with that. But it's kind of crazy. We'll see what the experiment's like. I'm sure the human umpires will not like being replaced, or at least having to work alongside robots and feeling their jobs threatened. So that'll be interesting in AAA. So hopefully baseball will be back. Hopefully it's getting nasty. Hopefully the counter proposal leads to some progress to get baseball back. As I said, we need it. We want it. Basketball, hockey, really kicking into gear. Football, going deep into the playoffs, getting ready for the Super Bowl before you know it. It's exciting stuff. And then our quick tributes, we forgot to mention last week, the great Bob Saget from Full House, Danny Tanner, and then, of course, lots of dirty jokes in stand-up comedy. He, unfortunately, passed away at a very young age, 65 years old, unexpectedly. He's one of my TV dads. I grew up, didn't have much of a dad, father figure growing up. He is my TV dad, so I mourn his loss. I watched a lot of Full House growing up, and watched a lot of it now since he passed away, and just really love Danny Tanner. Love what he stood for. Love Bob Saget. Both the clean and dirty comedy, when he was the host of America's Funniest Home Video. Great stand-up comedy. He performed the night before doing stand-up comedy, doing what he loved, and then unexpectedly passed away at only 65 years old. So hearts out to the great Bob Saget and his family. And then yesterday was a horrible 1-2 punch. And of course, we lost Betty White. She would have had her 100th birthday on Monday. She passed away on New Year's Eve. And then John Madden right before that, the end of December. Now it's been tough in early 22. We lost Bob Saget, and then yesterday on Friday, January 21st, it's a 1-2 punch of two beloved people: Meatloaf, 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad singer, and Bad Out of Hell, who sold like 40 million records. And I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that. All those great songs. Meatloaf, and also was an actor in Brad Pitt and Ed Norton's Fight Club movie from 1999. Meatloaf passed away at 74 years old yesterday. And then the great Louis Anderson, he passed away at only 68 years old. He had a rare blood cancer, and he had recently won Emmy Awards playing a mom of the bearded Hangover actor Zach Galifianakis, who's hilarious, in the show on FX Baskets, and he played a very beloved mom on that show, winning Emmys, and was a hilarious stand-up comedian, and also a hilarious guy in everything. Did hosted Family Feud. Was in the first Coming to America movie, was in the sequel to Coming to America on Amazon with Eddie Murphy just last year, and in Arsenio Hall. And he came from Minnesota, didn't want to leave Minnesota, and then eventually Rodney Dangerfield, I was reading, and Joan Rivers came there and said, you got to get out of here, go to New York, LA to get discovered. And then when he got on Johnny Carson, I think it said in 1994, his whole life changed, and he got all these great opportunities. And his opening joke, they got lots of laughs. He always joked that he's such a big kind of heavy-set gentleman, and he would say, I can't be out here long, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm in between meals. And the crowd went crazy, laughed at it, and the rest is history. So our hearts go out to all the people, all the beloved people that we've loved, and all these celebrities that we've loved who felt like part of our families, between John Madden, Betty White at the end of last year, and now Bob Saget, Meatloaf, and and Louis Anderson passed away, all in the span of just a few weeks. Our hearts go out to them. On a brighter note, we'll sing a song, and then of course we have Spider-Man's doing great in the movie theaters. Batman, the new Batman movie, Robert Pattinson's coming out March 4th. They're hyping that up. That looks good. And there's a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel comes back February 18th to Amazon Prime. Netflix shows. Cobra Kai's doing amazing. This Is Us in its final season. Blackish in its final season, doing great stuff. So many fun shows. Ghosts, an underrated first-year show on CBS. And to wrap it up, I'll sing a song to my beautiful wife, Abby, and Lorelai, my beautiful daughter, and my handsome son, LJ, just turned 2 yesterday. Not yesterday, last Sunday on the 16th. Love you guys with all my heart. And I'm going to sing from the great 98 Degrees song. I do cherish you for the rest. I love my 90s boy bands. For the rest of my NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, all that. You don't have to think twice. I will love you still from the depths of my soul. It's beyond my control. I waited so long to say this to you. If you ask me if I love you this much, well, baby, I do. Well, I love you, Abby. Love you, Lorelai. Love you, LJ. And happy birthday to Fran on Tuesday. Can't wait to celebrate. And I'm going to cover some Penn State basketball games in Dunmore today. Check them out, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. The women's and men's basketball teams playing a big conference matchups, I think against Penn State Lehigh Valley. Enjoy the playoff football. Hopefully baseball comes back. Basketball and hockey's exciting. Check out the baby Penguins tonight and Monday. Go Penguins, go. Enjoy the movies and shows. Enjoy Cobra Kai and Spider-Man. I know everyone's doing that. And keep it locked. DJ Roscoe Sports Show, your home for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk right here on the DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay warm out there and take care, everyone. Bye-bye.